Welcome back. You're listening to Houston Real Estate Radio. Today we've been talking about international real estate, the international real estate community, and lots of things going on here in Houston with people moving here from other countries, and also people here in the United States wanting to buy abroad. So we've talked about a lot of different things today. We had Oscar Gonzalez on earlier. We talked a lot about the international market. I've got Patrick Jankowski on this segment, and we're going to talk a little bit more about global trade, how Houston fits into the mix on all of this, and what makes Houston so attractive. One of the things I want to make sure that you know, though, you can go online to HoustonRealEstateRadio.com and catch anything you miss. If you miss any of the hour today, go to HoustonRealEstateRadio.com. And if you've got a question, you can call us 281-882-8088. We'll be happy to answer your questions right here on the air every week. We hope we give you lots of great information that you can use next time you've got a real estate transaction. All right. Welcome to the show, Patrick. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you for having me on, Shannon.
Good. Patrick Jankowski is the Vice President of Research for the Greater Houston Partnership. Through its business development, public policy, and membership divisions, the partnership develops and implements integrated programs to enhance the business climate, business activity, job creation, economic development, and quality of life throughout the Houston region. We've had we've had Patrick on in the past, and other people from the Greater Houston Partnership. They do such a great job out there. He joined the Houston Chamber of Commerce back in '81, and previously served as a business writer, editor, researcher, and economic analyst. You do a lot of research on what's going on in the Houston market.
Yeah, it's all based on research. You have to have the good data to make good decisions.
Well, we definitely want to talk about some of that data today. He's currently the president of the Houston Economics Club. He's a frequent speaker on business and economic issues and has served as an expert witness in cases regarding local businesses and economic trends. And he received his bachelor's degree in economics from the University of Texas at Austin. So welcome to the show. We appreciate you coming in today.
Thank you for having me on. I'm glad to be here.
So how important is Houston in the whole mix of things when you think about how Houston fits into global trade?
People associate Houston as being an energy town. They need to understand we're also an international town. We're a global gateway. What happens internationally is probably equally important as to what happens in the energy sector. There was a study done by Brookings Institute a while back that identified over 300,000 jobs in the Houston region were tied just to exports. The study's a little bit old. It's probably gone up to 375,000 now.
Wow.
There are over 3,000 companies in Houston that are doing business globally. Mm-hmm. We have one of the world's busiest ports. Global trade is very important. The international aspect of our economy is very important to Houston's prosperity.
Do you think that because people live here, they kind of take the port for granted? They just kind of forget it's even down there, because they're doing their day-to-day job. But it's very important.
It will. If you live on far north, if you live on the west side, you may never see the port. Mm-hmm. It's something that you might see in a commercial, but you never physically see it. You got to get in your car and drive down sometime. Just drive over the 610 bridge or the Fred Hartman Bridge and look north or look east and look west and just look and see just how incredible complex the port is there.
And a lot of changes going on down there.
A significant amount of construction, and that's something in light of some of the current slowdown in the economy we're glad to see is that construction is going to continue to drive Houston's economy. Dodge put out a report just a couple weeks ago that said $228 billion worth of construction projects have been announced in the Houston region just in the last 12 months. And that's the bulk of that is construction which is taking place along the port.
Wow, that's a lot. So how has our global trade and the Houston economy changed over the years? What have you seen happen?
A phenomenal amount. If you go back to 1998, if you look at the Customs District, which consists of all the ports in the region, in the Customs District, we were only handling about $45-50 billion worth of trade through the district a year, and that's both imports and exports. This year, we're on pace. We'll probably do $250 billion worth of trade passing through the region. So that's just a phenomenal amount of trade that we're having, and that supports a lot of economic activity, a lot of jobs.
And that's the reason why a lot of people are moving to Houston as well?
Well, they're moving here because for multiple reasons.
Opportunities.
One, we have strong economy, job opportunities. We have a very affordable cost of living. And I'd rather live in Houston right now than the weather that they're getting in Chicago or the weather they're getting up north.
Yeah, and we have great medical facilities.
Great medical facilities, great sports teams. Mm-hmm. So
many great things around the city. So what brought about this change and the growth? What made it all happen and evolve in this direction?
couple things came into play. One thing was when we had the downturn in the 80s and the Houston economy needed to diversify, one of the ways it diversified is rather than looking internal, looking domestic, looked at external markets because it gave you more opportunity. Just currently right now, the U.S. economy is about a $17 trillion economy. The global economy is a $74 trillion economy, so it gives you more opportunity. So part of that was the need to diversify. Also, when you saw the development going on in the emerging markets in China and in Asia and in Latin America, they needed to develop their infrastructure. A lot of what we export are energy services, and that's concentrated here. Also, we've seen a shift in our demographics. If you go back to 1990, you looked at only about 12% of Houston's population was foreign-born, meaning they were born outside the region. And that may seem high, but right now, currently, the estimate is it's about 23% of Houston's population was born outside the U.S. So I've seen a doubling in the foreign population. That tends to lend yourself to being able to do more business globally. We
were talking earlier with Oscar about the changing trends in the Houston market and how Houston's kind of a petri dish for what the nation's going to look like down the line, that we're kind of the beginnings of where the nation's going.
Well, exactly. If you look at Houston now demographically, and you look at the breakdown between Anglos and Hispanics and blacks and Asians, and you look at the United States in the year 2060, Houston is almost a mirror image of the way the United States is going to look 45 years down the road. So if you want to see what the U.S. is going to look like, look at Houston. If you want to see a metropolitan area that makes it work, that everyone gets along, that's successful, you look at Houston. You think other states around the country are going to try to do some of the things that Houston has incorporated that's made it so great? Well, they ought to. Yeah. It would definitely help with their prosperity, their continued growth. Are you starting to see some of that across the nation? I mean, some of them don't have the opportunity. Obviously, some of them don't have ports, but some of them do, and they don't leverage that like we do. Well, it's a combination. We've got this great infrastructure in place, like the port. We shouldn't forget the airport. Houston Airport System has seen just phenomenal growth in its international passengers. If you go back about 10 years ago, they were only doing about 5.4 million international passengers. This year, when the numbers finally come out, they probably would do about 9.3 million international passengers. So that's an asset that we need to realize. It makes it a lot easier for foreign businessmen to come and invest in Houston, or for Houston businessmen to call on markets overseas and sell their products. We're looking at what's going to be happening with Hobby Airport to the south. They're launching international service. So we're lucky we have that infrastructure, but we also have a different frame of mind here. We tend to be pro-business. We tend to not put regulations in the way, not to put obstacles in the way of people that we want to be able to develop businesses and grow business and invest here. So other states might not have the infrastructure, but they could adopt a more favorable business climate. All right. What role do you see Houston's international ties playing in Houston's future? Right now, they're going to be very important. As we see energy slowing down, we're going to look for other areas for growth. We will look to international to continue to grow. Areas like Europe and Asia are slowing down, but Latin America is doing okay, especially Mexico and Canada. And Mexico is actually our largest trading partner. If you look at 12% of all exports that Houston ships overseas go to Mexico. Now, you said Europe and Asia are slowing down. What is that a result of? That's a result of just stagnation. That's a result of they've never really recovered from the recession of 2008, 2009. You're hearing talk about what the European Central Bank will try to do with some quantitative easing to help improve the economy. They need to do something. Because as Europe slows down, it affects Asia, especially China, and as China slows down, it'll affect the rest of the world. The irony is that right now the U.S. is the strongest economy in the world. I guess as an American, I'm very proud of that. But we are the bright spot in the world right now. Yeah. Well, and it's exciting to be here in Houston. I mean, own a small business. It's great to be able to do. It's great to be able to have a small business and see it flourish in an economy like ours in Houston, where you have so many diverse people, a workforce that's so diverse and lots of services around. It's just a great economy here. Yeah, we see people relocate here for multiple reasons. Some because their company have relocated them here. Some that have come here on their own because they just want to get out of the cold, and some come here because they realize that if they're going to try to start a business, it's a lot easier to start a business in Houston than it is anywhere else. So we do bring those entrepreneurs to town, and that's one of the things that helps keep Houston's economy vibrant.
All right. Well, we appreciate you and all that you're doing over there at the Houston Partnership. We know that all the research that you do certainly plays a big part in getting the information out to the consumers so that they know what's going on as well. So we appreciate you coming in and talking about it with us.
Thank you for allowing me to come. If you want more information, go to the website. It's www.houston.org.
All right. www.houston.org. We'll be right back here on Houston Real Estate Radio.
Hello everyone, welcome to HRER.com. My name is Hanan Yadin. I would like to speak a little bit about security and safety for individuals who travel and also doing business in the United States. We created this website to provide useful tools in reference to security, to minimize your chances to become a victim to acts of terrorism, crime, and kidnapping. We offer different type of classes, and I encourage you to visit our website, HRER.com. Visit our website and check what kind of classes we offer around Texas, around Houston, and around the country. We have an extensive background in military and security field, approximately 30 years. So we're going to offer you very useful tools that, based on our experience in security, in terrorism, and hopefully will boost your security and awareness and confidence when you go to your business objectives. Again, we hope to see you in our classes that we offer at HRER.com, and be safe.